Good morning. It is Sunday, 6:40 a.m. and it is the 13th of July. So I am just gonna start getting my breakfast together. I did a little bit of journaling this morning. And it is a little chilly outside, which is like a first because we've been having like hot, humid mornings, but it's actually pretty nice. So I have a few windows open trying to cool down the house before it heats up. And I even threw on a jacket, which I love this one. I know it's a Christmas one, but I wear it like year round. Hey, it's Christmas in July, right? Okay, I just finished breakfast. And so now I'm heading into my office. And I probably should turn the light on because that's a little better. Okay, so game plan for today. Let's talk about that. Let me set you guys up. There we go. Okay, so just going over everything. Yesterday, I wrote 997 words. Great start. Got the first two scenes done, or they could potentially be the first two chapters. And I feel like it makes sense that they are the first two chapters because both of those scenes, they don't go. There is a like specific stopping point between them, like hard cut. This was a movie. It would be like commercial break or something like that. So that's how I'm at least picturing it. I think it makes sense that they're two different chapters because they both end on that hook, but I guess they do take place in the same time frame, one after the other. So maybe it should be one chapter. I feel like that's like one of the hardest part is knowing like, should this be a full thing? Should not? In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter if it's a scene or a chapter, as long as there's a beginning, middle, end for that segment of writing. I think that's all that really matters. So what I am actually going to do is, I think I discussed it a little bit yesterday, and going over my plot grid is, right, I have this kind of all mapped out. I'm going to do the summary for this following those 8 different aspects of a scene. So you have the hook, the setup, the trigger, emotions, ponder, expectations, choice, and climax, and then you cycle it back up. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I am more creative and more thorough when I handwrite. It is just how I am. I think better pen to paper. I don't know why. I really want to like improve and actually be able to transition to digital because it takes double the amount of time because I have to copy everything over and it's a lot. So game plan is I am going to copy this that I have onto my Scrivener plot grid. So I have the digital copy of this. Then I'm going to write this scene. So this is the submission scene number 3, and write that out on paper. And then what I'm going to do is, that's my summary. In order to speed up my first draft is I am actually going to do a dictation of my summary. So, right, yesterday I did roughly 200 words for my summary, and then I flushed it out a little bit more, and then that got me like around 500. So instead of getting that 500, my goal is I could be now in more the thousands because I will be speaking. I could get a lot faster in a shorter amount of time. it might still be a little bit of like word vomit, but right, this is my skeleton draft, so it is going to be more on the bare bones, um, which is something I always struggle with that because I want my first draft to be as polished as possible, so I try to fill in as much, and it just never works out. I need to just embrace revisions and just accept that I need to do them and learn how to do them well to flush out my story. People do like 5 to 6 drafts, and I'm just like, who has time for that? Who has time for that? I'm like a 2 draft person. It's really like a 1 draft plus like copy edits and stuff because I hate revision, but they say, right, revision is just rewriting, and I just need to accept as a writer that I need to do that. So that is the game plan. I'm actually going to, because this is a creative space that I need, I'm going to move over to my desk that has my plotting wall in front of me, because that is going to be the creative thinking, and I think that fits more than being sitting here with my keyboard in front of me, because I'm going to be handwriting. I don't need that. It'll give me more space to like set up as well. So I'm going to head over there and get cracking. First scene, I have written the summary, and I think this looks good. And at first I was worried. I was like, oh no, do I have each of those 8 things in this? So what I did was, it's extra, don't get me wrong, is I took just a regular index card and I put the like letters, and making sure that there is a point in this scene that hits all 8 of the like targets, and then on the back I just put like the subplot, the arc, the universal fantasy, the setting, and the characters. So I just have it, and this is the whole scene. It has it. So I'll just kind of go over. So the hook is that Sophia, she's going to trip, right? That catches the reader. The setup is she's going to the post office to mail an application. What triggers, which is like the conflict, is like once the application is on its way, there's no turning back. So the reaction to that, she's excited about the prospect of going abroad, but also nervous, right? And so the ponder is this the right decision? Should she actually leave Clayton, Alaska? The expectation, which is the reflection. I want the what she'll do is she doesn't stay in a place for very long, and that goes into the choice, which is it's been 2 years. She's ready for another adventure. And so she places the label, gets the tracking number, and now it is out of her hands. The application is going to go through the system, and that is the end of the scene. So it has all of those, right? There's some thinking, some like unsureness, but excitement. And I like this where it's like she is ready for another adventure, but she doesn't realize that that venture is going to be taking care of the baby and getting back together with Dylan. So that is the scene. I think it will turn out good, and I really like the aspects. At first I was like, oh, she's gonna be wearing a flowy dress, maybe she trips on the hem. But then I was like, wait a sec, who wears a dress unless you're going to a party in winter in Alaska? No one. So I was like, perfect, she's going to trip on a patch of ice, because we know if you live in a snowy climate, whether you salt the ground or have heated sidewalks or whatnot, There's always patches. You always got to be careful. I remember that my college was in Idaho, so it snowed there. And what was really cool is they did the steam tunnels underneath the sidewalks. So, but it wasn't all of the sidewalks. It was like the older section had it, like where they had new buildings. They didn't really quite have the steam tunnels, but that was cool when you're in the sidewalk that had the steam tunnels, because you could see the steam kind of leaking out. But it was nice because then it kept that they didn't have to salt that part or like, right, snowplow it. Well, they still had to snowplow when it got like a lot of snow, but like scrape it, all that stuff. So pretty genius of when the school decided to do that way back then when. Okay, so that is scene 1. What I'm going to do is work on the second scene, doing the same thing, because that honestly didn't take me that long. And I'm feeling the groove, right? I got a little ambiance on. I have this little seaside one going in the background, and so I think I'm just going to continue because it's not even 8 o'clock, so I'm on a roll already. Okay, I just finished writing 2 scenes. So I took what I did, right, and wrote that out. So the first scene that I did today was the submission, and that was summary 136 words. And when I did dictation, it turned out to be 568 words. So in theory, right now, my words per hour are in the 4,000s versus yesterday I was in the 1,200 range. So definitely have improved. And then the next scene, which is the knock at the door, summary 127 and 572 via dictation. So that is almost up to 5,000 words an hour. So that was a faster speed and it felt pretty good. So that is getting us to the first bit, which is the meet cute. So my next scene is going to be, I guess there's one more scene, which is diapers galore, and then it moves into the meet cute. So I'm so close with finishing this first sequence, which is from the setup to the meet cute / inciting incident. And I'm making good progress. So right now, total, I am 2,137 words of this work in progress. So I finally hit the 2,000 mark. Yay! But at the same time, it's, I really wanted to do that yesterday because then I'd be like getting moved very closer to 4,000. But doing dictation will definitely push me forward. So that is great. And I'm feeling really good. It is 2 minutes until 10 o'clock. So I know I need to do yard work, but the ground, it was still really wet, and so I kind of want it to dry a little bit, but then there's the temperature that starts rising. So definitely before lunch, I need to go outside, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do is try to knock out the last 3 from my plot grid and work on the summaries. So then those will be done. So then I can knock out those 3 scenes after lunch in like no trouble at all. So let's do more summaries. Okay, so I just
did a little bit of the weeding of the garden. I'll probably have to go back out later this evening. It was just getting a little too hot and I didn't quite want to take a shower until later this evening. So that's that. And because I don't think I got like any dirt or anything really on me, but maybe I have. But so what I'm gonna do is it is 12 o'clock on the dot. I'm going to be making lunch and taking a small little break. We'll go in the kitchen. I started doing setting up reoccurring tasks for my chores in Marvin, which is what I use for my task manager. And I did that because it's been on my list and I was like, okay, I really need to get this done. So that is what was preoccupying my time a little bit before going out like 30 minutes ago. So I made progress in that. I got three of my zones for my zone cleaning done, but I'm kind of hungry, so it is lunch time. And let's see what I have in my lunch. Okay, here is I got my bread that I need to bake as well. I'm gonna get some watermelon. Set that down. And just kind of going over what else I have. I have some cherries. I have mac and cheese, which I might save for dinner. Yogurts, vegetables. Back here, some bell peppers, which, I need to get those but I'm like, what do I think I guess, honestly, I have no idea what I'm going to eat. I have to finish this crisp. I'm going to take that out. We're going to eat that last little bite. We need to eat these vegetables. We'll have some vegetables, some watermelon, and yeah, it's gonna be kind of a Mod Podge. Just wanted to show what I have been working on. I have the new grid. So this kind of just goes over the next 5 scenes. That takes us to the first doorway, the first plot point, and the end of Act 1. So I went and did 2 scenes, the diaper galore as well as the heartbeat. So I have those 2 ready to go. And so now what I'm thinking, it is almost 2:30 and I just feel like I am way behind, but I don't think I actually am. I think I'm still okay, but I don't know. It always just kind of makes you feel like so far you're like, what am I doing? But so I think I'm gonna have a little bit of a snack. And what are you doing, Tux? He's acting so weird. What are you doing? He was in the outside and eating grass again, and I tell you, this dog and grass, I don't know what it is. I don't know why dogs like grass, but it's not good for your tummy, huh? That's probably why you're feeling not so good. But what I'm going to do is actually take my bread out because I need to start baking that. So I need to start heating up the oven, and then I'll be able to have some nice bread, sourdough. Okay, I finished writing. So I got another couple sprints in. So my grand total for today is 2,243. I hit that 2,000 mark. And for the work in progress, it is 3,240. So not too shabby. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm almost kind of caught up, and that is, I would say, a problem is I need to do a lot more of like the prep work. So it's 4:17 right now, and I'm kind of almost at the point where I'm a little because I went through and I did the rest of I did sequence 2 plot grid, but I still need to do the summary for the last bit from the first plot grid, which is the inciting incident. So I still need to do that. And then I really need to do all the summaries for the sequence. And I think that is going to be what's tripping me up and preventing me to go faster, is that I don't have any of this prep work done, which I guess that is maybe what I should do before I start writing. But things might come up while you're writing, so then you already have that scene already mapped out. So I don't know if that's like a smart thing or not, but it is what it is. Oh, I kind of want to get maybe 2 scenes ahead every day. So at least in the morning when I'm ready to write for, 5 to 10 minutes doing dictation, I already have that scene in my head. I could imagine it like a TV show, and I think that will help keep the flow going. But I'm feeling good for where I am, and we are just going to call it today. And until tomorrow, bye guys.